This Ibn Taymiyyah quote about learning the Arabic language explains why you are still not where you want to be in life. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, he says, اعتياد اللغة يؤثر في العقل والخلق والدين تأثيرا قويا بينا ويؤثر أيضا في مشابهة صدر هذه الأمة من الصحابة والتابعين ومشابهتهم تزيد العقل والدين والخلق. I will translate this quote in a second, but before I do, I need you to understand something. Learning Arabic is not like learning any other language. In this video, I am not going to explain exactly how to step by step learn the Arabic language, because in order to do that, I will need a little bit more time. So if you are interested, inshallah, I will leave a video in the description that you can watch. It's about 1 hour video where I go in depth on how to actually see the roadmap that you need to learn the Arabic language. And in there, inshallah, I will even give you a vocabulary wallet, which is the vocabulary wallet that our students use at Andalus Institute, which will allow you to get started as soon as possible, inshallah. But in this video, I want to talk more about why, if you learn the Arabic language, you're not only learning a language, but it is actually helping you to get better at different aspects of your life if you learn it for the right intentions. Because if you're a Muslim, it's not a hobby learning the Arabic language. It's not just cool or a flex, even though it could be. It's more of a step towards getting better, getting closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, and becoming the version that Allah Azza wa Jal actually created you to be. You see, in 2006, there was a research by a man named Ramirez Esparza. That was my Spanish accent right there. And it was ran for bilinguals to see people's personalities if it changed when they spoke different languages. And the results were that in English, when they were given a personality test, they were a little bit more assertive, more extroverted, and driven by motivation to achieve goals. But when given a personality test in Spanish, they tend to be more warmer, agreeable as well, and emotionally sensitive. Now, this was the same people, same person, but a different language. And it became a different personality when they were given those tests about their personality. And it's not theory, it's science. And I can tell you something by experience. I personally speak 5 languages fluently. My mother tongue is Catalan. My second language is Spanish. My third language is actually English. My fourth is French. And Arabic is the last recent one that I have learned in the past 10 years. And it was the most transformative one when it comes to personality-wise. And I can tell you this from the depth of my soul, that when I speak on a particular language, I literally become a different person. For example, if I speak in Spanish or Catalan, I feel a little softer, and it's a little bit more hard to show sharpness and authority. Now, when I speak in English, I am more direct, I am more efficient. I can speak about intellectual topics that in Spanish, even though it's my mother tongue, I cannot speak. Reason being is because after 14 years old, I stopped pretty much consuming content in Spanish. So my Spanish became very surface level. I speak with friends and I speak with my family, but I don't necessarily study topics, read books like I do in English. Now, what's very interesting is when I speak in Arabic, I feel connected to Allah. I feel emotionally more stable, logically more sound, spiritually alert, because the Arabic language is not just words and a language that you speak from your mouth, but you speak as well with your mind, with your thought, and it disciplines the tongue on how to speak. It doesn't really allow you to use foul language. And the reason why is because Arabic, like I said in the beginning, if you learn it for the real intentions, being the liturgical language of Islam, you will be connected with the deen when you speak it. And Allah Azza wa Jal, He chose the Arabic language for His book. So it's the language of truth. And truth, when you speak with that language, it leaves a mark in how you act, how you speak, how you think. That's why Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, translating the quote that we read in the beginning, he says that getting used to speak the Arabic language, it affects the mind, and it affects the character and the religion. And it has a deep and powerful effect. And not only that, but it also brings resemblance to the early generations of this ummah, the Muslims of this ummah, the companions of the Prophet and the tabi'een, those who saw the companions of the Prophet and didn't see the Prophet ﷺ himself. And that resemblance alone, it increases your mind, it increases your religion and your character. And what's meant by increases your religion, i.e., it makes you more righteous, more pious. You speak differently. You think more before you speak. And when you speak, you will notice, if you ever heard people speaking in Arabic and you get the captions or translations, you will see that there is a lot of remembrance of Allah in just speaking in the Arabic language. Whether it's how you speak to the other person with manners, or whether it's asking Allah to bless the other person or to give the other person while speaking to the other person. كيف الحال؟ الله يعزك. الله يعطيك العافية. حياكم الله. أحسن الله إليكم. كيف الحال? How you doing? May Allah bless you. May Allah give you good health. May Allah protect you. It's part of the language, part of the manners. And a funny story of this is, once I was doing Umrah in Mecca, and there was these guys who push chairs. That's their whole job. Their whole job is just staying there waiting for old people or people who needs a little bit more of people who don't have that much energy, and they are pushed to do, for example, as-sa'i bayna as-safa wa marwa. So I was with my parents, with my mom and my dad, and so I paid for one of these guys to push my dad. And so I remember I was focused on my Umrah, and this guy, he asked me a couple of questions, and I answered them. And then he shared with me that he wanted to get married. And me, I just responded, hey, yeah, inshallah, something like that. And so he started getting frustrated that I wasn't making dua for him. Because he said, hey, well, the early, make dua for me. And most of the times we take this type of sentence very, we don't give much power to it. This guy, he persisted. He was like, hey, the early, ya. And he started pushing like, yo, make dua for me, like right now. I want it right now. So he wanted me to make dua for him to get married. And you can see how part of the culture is, if somebody doesn't make dua for you, it's like this person doesn't really want good for me. Like, we spoke for 5 minutes straight, he didn't make one dua for me. Or if the person says, yo, can you make dua for me for this thing? And you say, yeah, inshallah. It's like, subhanallah, you're not going to make dua for me right now? And it generally affects the person, like you don't want good for them. So it's embedded in the Arabic language when speaking to make dua for the person, to want good for the person, ask Allah good for that person. And obviously that is dhikr within itself. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, الدنيا ملعونة وما فيها إلا ذكر الله وما ولا أو عالم ومتعلم. That the whole dunya is cursed except for the dhikr of Allah and whatever is related to it, whether it's studies of the dhikr of Allah, whether it's sittings of knowledge. And then he says, أو عالم, or a scholar, أو متعلم, or a student of knowledge. So the dhikr of Allah is the most beneficial thing you can be around, and obviously speak with it. Because imagine you are in a situation which you shouldn't be because it's haram, and in your language the dhikr of Allah is embedded. You won't be able to just light up a blunt and say, hey, bismillah, tfaddal, Allah yatik al-afiyah. Hey, tfaddal, take it, may Allah give you good health. It doesn't go with it. So when you learn the Arabic language, it will give you a sharper mind, a cleaner heart, and it will give you better character. Just by learning the Arabic language with the intention of resembling the best people who lived this earth, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, his companions. And it's proven as well that when you learn a new language, it actually rewires your prefrontal cortex, which is a part in your brain that's related to your discipline, to your empathy, to your judgment, and to your logical thinking. So you literally become better at self-control. You become better at having clearer thoughts, because Arabic itself carries meanings that literally clean your heart, whether it's through du'as, whether it's through the dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. It's not like other languages, just grammar, just vocabulary. It's all mixed with your akhlaq, with your taqwa, with your adab, with your akhlaq. And what really, really, really breaks me in 2025 is that most people don't feel like they are becoming better Muslims. They don't see that by learning the Arabic language is actually an act of worship. They are all caught up on how long is it going to take me? Can I do it in 6 months and then move on? Or is it too late for me to start? Or maybe I'll do it in a better moment. It's not the right moment for me right now. But the thing is, it's always the best moment to worship Allah Azza wa Jalla. And by just learning, even if you just give 20 minutes a day. In those 20 minutes, you are worshiping Allah Azza wa Jal if your intention is to learn the Arabic language to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. And generally being disconnected from the language of the Quran, it literally makes you and your iman weaker. That's why some of the Salaf, they used to say that if somebody knows more Arabic than you, then surely he knows more about the religion than you. And so the Arabic languages give you direct access to the sources, the same sources that if you read daily, it will increase your iman. And perhaps not read them yourself either, but being able to straight away call scholars on a daily basis, ask questions, and keep your iman protected and intact in that way. That's literally your food for your soul. Just like you take care of your body, your hygiene, and so on, your soul needs to be fed as well. And knowledge is what does that. So like I said in the beginning of the video, if you are actually interested in knowing the actual roadmap that you need to follow in order for you to learn the Arabic language and get as well a vocabulary wallet for free, go ahead and check the first video in the description. Make sure you pay attention because in there you're going to be able to get a vocabulary wallet. And I wish for you a happy learning.